Welcome back to Pocket Watch, episode 5, Ne Zha 2. It's the show where I don't know the voice crack. It's the show where I don't know the runtime of a movie and see how many times I check my phone or my watch to determine how good a movie is. Alright, if you're watching this, smash that like and subscribe button, please, and follow me at Indian Jones on Letterboxd. Otherwise, next time it's going to be me giving an Adrian Brody length rant. So, for people who don't know what this movie is, it's an animated movie from China, a sequel to Ne Zha that came out in 2019. They made over $2 billion, and it's the first animated movie to ever do that. There are people saying that parts of this are just as good as Across the Spider-Verse, if not better. I'm not as high on Across the Spider-Verse as everyone else, mainly because of the ending. Animation-wise, yeah, no question. If it even gets close to it, I think it might be the best movie of the year so far. Also, there's like a few people saying that this is one of the greatest sequels ever. I don't know if it's because the first one was that much worse or if the second one is really, really good. I watched the first one yesterday, and honestly, I thought it was going to be way worse than it was, seeing some of the reviews, but I had a good time with it. So I'm excited to see what the second one is, if it's going to be that much better. Okay, so I think this movie is going to be a little over 2 hours. I'm going to say 2 hours, 5 minutes, just to make it a nice number. And I think I'm going to check my phone or my watch twice during it. Also, I totally forgot that there were 2 end credit scenes in the first one, so I'm going to predict that there's also 2 in this one. I have to go see if this is Chinese propaganda or if it's actually worth the hype. Time for the movie! Oh, I'm not gonna lie, kind of groggy. Early showtime today on a Saturday, but you gotta do what you gotta do. On the road again. I can't wait to get back on the road again. Alright, we just pulled up. We're waiting for my boy Mysterious Moose to pull up. Might do a little post-movie breakdown in the car. But yeah, catch you guys after this movie.
We come to this place for magic. We come to AMC theaters to laugh, to cry,
Oh God, no.
to care.
Dude, that shit was gas, bro.
9 out of 10, bro.
So good.
I would say this is my favorite anime movie, but Across the Spider-Verse has got to be number 1. But I think this could be
This
number 2.
is number 2, I think,
Yeah,
for
bro.
sure.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, Into the Spider-Verse. I think those go together.
yeah,
but
that's true. Animation was like almost as good as Across the Spider-Verse, and it was like just as good at some parts too.
All right, we're back from the movie. Not gonna lie, it took me a sec to record the back half of this video, but we're here now. So let's get to the pocket watch checks. I predicted this movie would be 2 hours and 5 minutes long, and it ended up being 2 hours, 23 minutes. Definitely longer than I expected, but honestly, it wasn't too bad. And there was one post-credit scene, which was definitely on the longer side, but it was super funny, and it sets up a third movie. And during this movie, I had 2 pocket watch checks. Ne Zha 2 does a fantastic job of picking up where the first movie ended and bringing you into the action right from the get-go.
What? What did I say? Gecko. I said gecko. Oh.
The only thing I will say is that as soon as the initial adrenaline rush ended, I did feel like checking my phone around the 38-minute mark. Other than that, everything was smooth sailing. I only felt like checking at the hour 20 mark when I honestly thought the movie was going to end. And if it ended there, it would have been fine. But I'm so glad it didn't, because from then on, it was all gas. This movie's obviously a bit long, but honestly, the payoff in the third act is more than worth it. It kept getting better and better. I was blown away. And at the end of the day, for a movie that's 2 hours, 23 minutes, 2 pocket watch checks isn't horrible. Ne Zha 1 wasn't bad either. I had a fun time watching it. It was the standard hero's journey, and I expected this movie to basically be the same exact thing as the first one, just slightly better. But man, was I wrong. This was way better. Outside of a somewhat predictable story in the first movie, the only thing I didn't really like was the bathroom humor. There was a lot of it, and it didn't really land. Maybe it's because of cultural differences or the translations weren't one-to-one. But I'm glad there was way less of that in the second movie. But when they did make those jokes this time, for some reason, I found it pretty funny. Maybe it's because I got dumber, but either way, Ne Zha 2, the humor was way better. An hour in, I was like, this movie's pretty solid. I would have probably still recommended people to watch it, but only if they had free time. But the back half of this movie, like I said before, is all gas, no brakes. I don't know how they did it, but the new characters they introduced, the plot, the animation, everything peaked at the right time to make a perfect third act. I'm a huge fan of Into the Spider-Verse. It's one of my favorite movies, and I think the animation in Across the Spider-Verse is perfect. But I think there's a legitimate case that Ne Zha 2 has some scenes that are on that level, if not better. There were some scenes with dragons that literally took my breath away. I had to sit up in my seat. And honestly, the action scenes in this movie are better than anything in the first two Spider-Verse movies. I had to go watch this movie in theaters because I needed to know for sure if it was Chinese propaganda and they were pumping the numbers up for it to hit 2 billion in the box office, or if it was actually a good movie. But it seems like maybe the US is the one deciding not to market it here, and it kind of makes sense. I wouldn't market it here either if Ne Zha 2 blew every American animation studio out of the water. DreamWorks and Pixar have some serious competition if this is the new standard that's coming out of China. Honestly, if we go into a animation Cold War situation where every country's trying to one-up each other, I'm fully here for it. I can't stress this enough. Everyone should watch Ne Zha 1 and then get to the theater to watch Ne Zha 2 before they stop showing it in theaters. This movie for me is a 4.5 out of 5. That's a wrap on this episode. Pocket Watch, Episode 5, Ne Zha 2. Catch you guys next Friday. See ya!